You guys having a bit of trouble clearing the higher difficulty stages of Aetherium Wars in the new update? Well, I've got the solution for you today, one team that can clear the entire event without any difficulties at all. And let's just jump straight into things today. Leave a like, subscribe to channels if you're new if you find this helpful. Alrighty guys, so this was the new event, Aetherium Wars, that was added into the game in the recent patch, and I'm going to be showing you guys a team setup build. Basically will allow you to clear any of the event stages. Now, it will require you to clear to a certain point to get all the pieces and bits and pieces to be able to get it. This is more important for the more difficult stages. Most of the early stages are very, very easy. So what you're essentially going to want to do is you're going to go through all of these four here and essentially just pick up all the pieces you're going to need to make this. Because the real challenging bits are going to be this middle stage and these last few couple of fights that you're going to have to do. Basically what you want to do is you just want to pick up all of the different enemies that are capturable and obtainable, and basically the way you do this, it will teach you this when you start the event, but basically all you do is you just go into each of those four stages and just fight at least one enemy of each type once. And then also you'll get the upgrade things as well. So let's go into our team setup. This is the team setup we're going to be running for this, and it's super good, and you can basically take this into any fight. I cleared the whole thing just with this team. Well, not the whole thing because I didn't have all the units straight away, but I was using a mixture, and I got to a certain point when I had all these, I just used these and I cleared the champion stages, all the challenge stages, everything, and it was very easy to do, and it's pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the build, and I'm going to show you gameplay and explain how to do it in the fights. First things first, you're going to need the Entrance Ingenium Illumination Dragonfish, the Trotter, which I named mine Bubbles, which I think is adorable as hell they even get to do that in this event. You're going to need the Automaton Gatekeeper, and the Silvermane Cannoneer. Once you got those, you want to try and upgrade them as far as you can in terms of levels. Basically, you'll be able to do this by the time you get to the champion stage anyway, so it's fine. And these are the ones you're going to want to run. For expansion ships for the Dragonfish, you're going to want to run Backstage Enhancement and Computation Lock. So yeah, there's this one that basically just increases their attack, and then Computation Lock, which increases their attack further, but disables the ultimate. Basically, the purpose of these two is just to, this enemy's role, character's role, is just to increase your damage ceiling a little bit. After that, we have the Trotter. This is going to be basically your support and a bit of your sustain on the team. So basically, we've got four different modules here. We got the reduce attack by 75% increase the max HP. Yet again, we're using this thing as a HP, like a large HP stack, and to heal, so we don't necessarily need him to do a lot of damage. So basically his whole kit just revolves around survivability, and his most important one is going to be emergency reboot. The purpose of this is basically just if he gets killed, he gets revived with a small amount of his HP, 30% to be precise, and this basically just allows him to basically just make it so he doesn't die for the most part too soon, so you can still get the heals out of him for the fight. First things first, just a little bit of extra damage, healing, and this is where the two most important ones are. We're going to start with the Silvermane Cannoneer, and I'll explain this better when we actually do the fight, but you want to run deep clean and high load speed. At the end of the turn, removes all debuffs from the wearer, and basically just removes debuffs, and removes one debuff from each of the other allies. This is really useful because it basically means you can't be debuffed that much. Now this is the important one. Increase attack speed by 90% and reduce speed by 30%. This does not matter. We do not need a high amount of speed on him. He's basically just going to be going first every single time. And it's good because we want him to be doing increased damage because we're going to be using this constant follow-up attacks. The important thing is going to be his skill. Basically, he supports one ally for 2 turns. When that ally attacks, launches a follow-up attack. So basically, anytime an attack happens, he will perform a follow-up attack. In addition to that, with his ultimate, he can increase the ally's attack by 50% for 2 turns and regenerate 2 energy. This one's really important. You're going to be using this in the fight. Now, we're basically building the entire team around this unit here. Here's what you want to run on this. You increase the attack by 20% max HP, just a bit of extra stats, and then saturated activation. When the wearer's first turn begins, immediately regenerate 3 energy. Very useful for just getting the ultimate immediately. Then, after entering battle, reduce the energy requirement for ultimate by 1. Energy cannot be reduced below 2 points. So basically, his ultimate charge is going to be 2 points. Basically, every time you use a skill or an attack, you gain a point. This is very important because what we're going to be building him around is going to be his ultimate. So basically, his ultimate does 2 things. One, it upgrades his basic attack to be what does it do? Sorry, hold on, where is it? This one here. So it's enchainment. Basically, the important thing with this is it does a lot of damage, but the key thing is here it does imprisonment, which basically delays their action and stops them from attacking. And it summons 2 of these fish things, or specialized fish things. And this is important because of the way this unit works. Basically, when you do the attack, his skill to support the unit, those additional 2 summon units also count as this unit's damage. So what that means is he's going to do follow-up attacks on every single one of those summoned units as well. So let's take this into practice quickly. So like I said before, Cannoneer is always going to go first. So you're going to want to run the support skill, and you're always going to support this guy here. Basically, when he does that, you won't always get the ultimate on the first turn. Sometimes you will get the ultimate on the first turn, but if you don't get the ultimate on the first turn, don't panic. Basically, just keep on, make sure you try and charge this Trotter's ultimate up, but basically just go through the normal motions of just using attacks on these other two, and then eventually you're going to get to the point where you'll be able to summon the other things with his ultimate. So just keep playing things normally and just focus on trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be too difficult to do. He's on his second turn, he gets his ultimate just immediately straight away. So what I'm going to do here, because I already have the ultimate, I don't need to use, I'm not going to use it straight away. The reason being is I'm going to use this impair skill first, which is going to put weaken on the entire enemy team. Then after that, now I'm going to use the ultimate. I should have actually pressed it a little bit sooner to avoid a bit of damage there. That's my bad. Just make sure you press the ultimate button immediately after you use the skill. So now what's going to happen is he's going to summon 2 of these units. And the key thing what you want to do is, this is very important. This is one of the important bits you don't want to mess up. You want to be able to identify what is the major threat on the enemy team. Basically, in this instance, it's always going to be this guy. These guys don't really matter. But for example, you want to try and keep the elite enemy on the team always imprisoned. And then in some rare instances, you'll have the elite enemy already imprisoned and you have the option to imprison another enemy. What you want to do is, say for example, you'll have those little like crabby like hand things that explode. You want to imprison things like that can do large amounts of damage to your team basically. So I'm just going to imprison this guard right here. And basically it's just going to stop him from attacking basically. And now what you're going to see is this is going to happen. This is why this team is really, really good. Now, the good thing about this team is you can use it. Weaknesses are irrelevant. Weaknesses and strengths are irrelevant with this team. You can use it on anything. It does not matter. It will work fine. And say, for example, you get low on health. We just pop a restore. Boom. We've got some health back. Like it's just a very good team for sustain, a great team for damage, and overall it's just probably the best team setup you can do with this. Now obviously I could imprison a different target, I don't really need to, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to imprison this one, because as you can see he's about to get his ultimate, just to reduce a bit of the incoming damage. And as you can see, this is just going to keep on happening. Now there's one more key bit to this setup as well that I'm going to show you in a minute. As you can see as well, they also does dot damage too, which is pretty big. So we can restore and heal again here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the Trotter's ultimate. So basically what this means, every time we use our basic attack now, it's going to heal our entire team, which is very, very handy. We can generate a point here with our single target, so we're back at a point, and what the key thing we're going to be doing here, unfortunately it's not going to do it because we're aggravated, which is annoying. So there are some team setups where it's a little bit more difficult than others, but what we're going to do now is we're going to use support on him again, and now we have his ultimate. So basically what we can do with this is we can just 100%, this will just, because this ultimate now generates 2 energy points, we can just give the automaton basically his ult again, which is insane. And this also advances the action order as well, meaning you're going to just be able to chain these. So obviously we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but that's fine. And we're going to imprison the Silvermane guard again. As you can see, he's not going to be able to attack. We're just going to win. That's the best team setup in the game. You can use this on any single team you want to use it on. It'll work against all the enemies in the champion stage, all the challenge stages. It just works on everything, period. Like, you can clear everything with this. Clear all these, clear the champion, clear all the hyperlinks, all difficulties. It'll work on everything you try to run it on. And yeah, guys, hopefully you found this helpful. If you're having some difficulties clearing Aetherium worms, this is how you do it. Anyways, guys, hope you all had a good one. See you later. Bye.
After all, Elio didn't put it in the script. Why would it matter?
Bon.